This is Barbara Gresham, Chair of the City of Sugar Land's Parks Advisory Board, calling to order the board's August 11th, 2020 meeting. Moving on to item 2, public comment. Do we have anybody this evening, citizens who wish to address the board? If not, we'll be moving on to item 3.
Excuse me, Barbara, could I jump in real quick and do a quick introduction?
Of course. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to let everybody know on the board, Chris Stubing, our assistant city manager, or one of our assistant city managers for the city of Sugar Land, is joining us tonight. I think most of you are aware that Parks was under our other assistant city manager, Jennifer May, but occasionally or every so often the departments go through a reorganization, and we've now been moved under Chris Stubing. And Chris has been with the city since 2006. He joined as the city engineer. We've worked with him on many park projects over the years, of capital improvement projects, big projects like Brazos River Park and Crown Festival side, Imperial Park Recreation Center. So we've got a long history working with Chris on these projects and in his group through engineering. And then in 2017, he was promoted up to assistant city manager. So well-earned promotion. He's been involved in big projects for the city like Smart Financial Center, Constellation Field, pretty much anything that has to do with drainage and road improvements. Chris has been involved with it. So we're looking forward to working under Chris. Chris, you want to say anything?
Oh, no, I mean, thanks for the introduction. It's all of those things are great, but I couldn't have done it without the team. That's one thing I am big on. So just excited to go through kind of the city manager's direction was really kind of aligning some of those major operational departments. So I welcome Parks into my group, which is Public Works, Environmental and Neighborhood Services, Engineering, and IT. IT is kind of the outlier there, but we've taken a motto there as well of kind of really focusing on the internal operations that they do. But no, excited just to be here. Wanted to say hi to the group and everything else. I've heard a lot and seen a lot of the good work that's coming out of the Parks Board. I know Monique will be talking about our wayfinding sign program, which we're excited to really kind of launch off beyond just our major roadways that we have right now and continue growing this. We've got a lot of big activities going forward with trail projects related from the Parks bonds, and we're working with Fort Bend County to hopefully keep some momentum going through the mobility side as well. And hopefully we can bring some of that information back after the Commissioners Court makes their decisions there on what's going to move forward. But I'm just excited to be here. As Joe mentioned, I've 22 plus years in the municipal and county realm. So you kind of name it. I've been there and done that. Outside of the project specific things, I think it's the organizational side that we're focusing on and kind of the culture of the city from our staff perspective and just the expectations of our residents and the folks that we work with day to day is something that we want to continue to bring up to the kind of the top of where we need to put those and manage those. I know Joe and I've had a couple of good meetings here, just me getting back up to speed and acclimated with Parks. I know he's got a great team with William and Kimberly and those groups and kind of what they do and from Lynn and them. So just excited to be here and open for any questions at this point. We just want discussion and look forward to getting to know each of y'all better just as we go down the road and stuff, trying to get this thing continue the momentum we've already got. So just glad to be here. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us this evening, and congratulations. Okay, item 3, recommendation to Mayor and City Council. Review of and action on a recommendation of the preferred design concept for the wayfinding for pedestrian and bicycle routes project to the Mayor and members of the City Council. Monique Johnson, Transportation and Mobility Innovation Manager. Monique?
Thank you, Barbara. Can everyone hear me pretty good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So at the last PARCS board meeting, we presented several concepts to you all. And during that meeting, there was a lot of discussion, and I think the board was split at the time. And so one of the requests was to provide some examples with similar colors to kind of help with that decision and come up with a recommendation for the mayor and city council. Next slide. So we went back and we kind of did, we set this up so that way you guys can have an idea of what, the colors would look like. And so here's option A, which is the brown background. And a lot of the examples we have currently in our city parks. So this gives you an idea of what that brown would look like with that white text. And so, there'll be similar style. A lot of what we see is with the wooden pillars, but we're looking to move towards the aluminum and metal, more durable structure. But yeah, here's an example of what that would look like in brown. And the next slide. And so here's some examples of the green. Now we don't have too many examples of, the solid dark green background, but to give you an idea, the sign that you see, the Alligators and Park sign, and then the Cullen and Park sign on the far right, that darker green is closer to what we would want to have for some of these signs. So this gives you an idea of what that green background looks like with some of that white text as well. Next slide. And so here's just a side-by-side comparison of, the two options. Like I said, I know we were split last time between the brown and green, but here's a close-up kind of what those would look like. So that way, this could help with the decision, and you can get a better idea of what the two options are and how they would how they differ between the two backgrounds. Next slide, please. And these are some examples of what we have currently. This is pretty much what you can expect as far as the mounting and also the structure for the sign. So we have this, in our Cullen Park. And so this is what we would see along the rest of our trails throughout the city, but with that new design concept. Next slide, please. And so once we have a concept decided, the first step would be to do a pilot project. And so this would be on the north side of town along the Ditch A22 trail system, so near City Park. And so, because it's connected, there's so many destinations already there, and we figured this would be a good area to do that first initial install of these signs and then carry that forward to some of our other trail projects. Next slide, please. So with that, once we have a decision from the Parks Board, our next step is to workshop this with City Council. They pretty much, we did a workshop with them early on in the project, and they're looking forward to seeing some concept that we developed. And so once we get a preferred concept from them, then we'll be able to move forward and incorporate that design as our standard for the trail system. And then we can also move forward with the pilot project for the Ditch A22 trail area in FY21. And then these will also be incorporated into the First Colony Trail and Ditch H trail projects that are currently under design. And with that, I will be happy to take any questions.
As we've done in the past, board, so we don't all jump in at once, I'll be calling on you all alphabetically for any comments you have on the presentation of Monique and what your feelings are on the options that she has presented to us. I will begin with Ho-Jin Lim, but I believe Ho-Jin is not with us this evening.
No, I am.
Oh, excuse me, Ho-Jin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was a few minutes late.
I apologize. Please proceed.
So I guess we're looking for the color choices. Is that right, Monique?
Yes. So between the brown and green.
Okay. My choice is the green, and I think that's a good presentation, giving us a good color drop background. Thank you.
Thank you, Ho-Jin. Heather Gillen.
Hi, everyone. I don't remember which I chose last time, but thank you for sharing the examples. It does help a lot. I like both of them, but if I were to choose one, I think the green just stands out for me more. I think both of them are great at showing contrast and being able to read the words. So again, either one I'm okay with, but just personally, I like the green. Thanks.
Thank you, Heather. Joan Hanson.
My apologies, guys. My computer crashed at 4:55. But green's my favorite color, so goes without saying. Thank you.
Thanks, Joan. Kelly Johnson.
Yeah, I'll stick with my response from the last time, which was the green. And I really like that the new and updated signs in Cullinan Park. Seems like that's kind of the way that the city is headed in that direction. The brown's not bad, obviously. I know it's used in a lot of parks and rec, and even like state parks and national parks. But I do like the green better.
Thanks, Kelsey. Kelsey Lowe.
I was one of the people that voted for brown last time, but I think seeing the examples helps. The green in the examples is much darker than it looks in the images that you had originally given us. So I think I've switched over to the green team, as long as that green really is that dark, because I think the contrast is super important. So if the green is going to be super dark, then I vote for green.
Thanks, Kelsey. Andy Fan. Andy may not be with us this evening.
He's not with us this evening.
He's not.
Yeah. Moving on to Tracy Pipes.
I vote for green.
Okay. Kelly Reynolds.
First, Monique, thank you for giving us the examples. That's very helpful. I like what Kelsey Lowe said. If it's the dark green, the contrast is great. So I would choose that. But I have a quick question. There are boards under the signs on your examples, and I'm wondering if those will be used in the future, on the future signs, and if so, if that's going to create a problem with the kind of crescent-shaped bottom that we were talking about.
No, we will not use those on the bottoms of these signs. I'm not sure what, the purpose of those for the signs that are currently existing. Maybe someone in PARCS to kind of explain that. But for these, we will not use the bottom board.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Monique. Thank you, Kelly.
William, do you recall what the wood, was that to be able to add some additional to the bottom of it?
Yes, sir, exactly right. It was before, obviously, Monique started on her project to try to unify all the signs. And it was the architect, White Oak Studios, kind of stab at trying to flare up the signs and add some flair to it. It's heat-treated oak, and it's not holding up as well as I was hoping it would. Me and Matt had to stain it a couple times. And it's not falling apart, it just fades. And it was just part of the original White Oak Studios Phase 1 design at Cullinan Park. Again, I think just to add some flair to the signs.
Thank you, William. I certainly agree with everyone. The green really is dynamic and it really pops. And regarding the board along the bottom, if that's required for stability or for some reason will be helpful overall for the maintenance of the sign, I think it's fine. But frankly, it's not very attractive. And if it's going to mean more work for Parks Department employees, they probably could be better served. I'm sure William would prefer to be carrying on other projects. But again, it depends on what is really necessary for the integrity of the whole sign construction. Thank you all for your comments, and thank you, Monique, so much for your presentation this evening.
Thank you all. So we're going with green.
We are.
All right.
We appreciate your taking the extra step to come back and talk to us further. These examples were really very, very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 4, Director's Report. Joe Chesser, Director of Parks and Recreation.
All right. Even in light of COVID, we've been staying really busy, so I can jump into the next slide. So the graphic you see on the left is the black line that you see is the alignment for the road and trail project that's going to go in at the connection piece between Memorial Park and Brazos River Park. You can see on the right, it connects up to the roundabout as you come into Memorial Park, and then we try to keep it as far away from the river as we could, and so we kind of hug a pipeline that runs through the park. It's not on it, but it runs kind of up against it, and it's a little hard to see from this graphic, but as you're coming up from the intersection there at Memorial Park, it runs kind of parallel to the lake that's there and the trail that's already there around the lake. And so we've got some crossover connections from the new trail over to the existing trail, some safe crossings across the road, and then connect up to the trail. And then it goes from there as it moves on to towards the top of the page or to the north. It starts to curve back around, and then it crosses just before it connects up to the road that's already there. It crosses over a large kind of outfall ditch that runs basically from the levee that separates the University of Houston campus from Brazos River Park. And then it flows in from the levee, it flows into kind of a natural stream. It's not channelized, it's heavily vegetated and kind of meandering stream down to the river. And so we'll have a fairly large construction of box culverts that will go in this location, and then with the road and trail going on top of that, and then continuing over to where the current road dead ends right now. There's a barricade there now that'll come down, and then it'll connect up right to where we cross the levee and go to the Crown Festival site. So the contractor that's been selected and awarded the contract has provided all their required information as far as bonds and contracts and insurance. So held a pre-construction meeting with them this week, and they're looking forward to getting started soon on the project. We hope to be breaking ground hopefully within probably next month or 6 weeks. And it should go through about a 6-month construction process. And so we're probably looking at a springtime opening of the roadway. Hopefully that's of course if weather cooperates and everything kind of goes as planned. We don't run into too many hurdles there. It's a pretty straightforward project. They don't have to really worry about any other conflicts with much in the way of park users. Since it's kind of wide open spaces right now, they can kind of control access to the area and not have to worry about slowing down for much of anything there at the park site. So we're really looking forward to breaking the ground on that and getting the ball rolling there soon. So if you're out at the park and you see anything going on there, that's probably what you're going to see is that roadway and trail getting started. On a much smaller scale project, this was an in-house project at Settlers Way Park. Behind some neighbors' fences, we had some standing water there. The trail that went by there was holding a bit of water. So the neighbors had contacted us about trying to address that issue. They had some concerns. So we put a subsurface drainage system in that drains water away from those back fences. It's typical of the kind of the drainage you might see around a residence. It's got little, about 12-inch square inlets the water flows into, and we've got some of those along the fence. They connect through a pipe and then come under that walkway, which is the black pipe that you can see here in the picture. And then the water just flows through that and goes into an existing drainage system there within the park that allows the water to get, it's trapped kind of near those fences, out underneath that walkway, and then over and drains through the drainage system through the rest of the park. So Williams met with the residents there a number of times, kind of explained the process to them, and they seem to be pretty happy about our work that's going on there at Settlers Way Park. Next slide, please. Also, another project that was just awarded. This was just awarded at City Council last week. The Mayfield Park Restroom project had gone out to bid, and we had some bids that came in really high. So we canceled those bids and rebid it to try to hope to get some better pricing on the project, which we did. So that one was, like I said, was just awarded. I think y'all remember seeing this project brought to the board probably maybe as far back as 9 months ago or so, kind of showing you the building designs we looked at, and then where it's going to go there in the park. And you can see on the graphic on the left, the playground is what you see in the kind of colorful area to the right with the kind of ring of trees around it. And then over to the left is the basketball court. So these are the two main attractions in the park right now, along with the trail that loops around the park. And so you can see it's at a good central location. It's at the end of Live Oak Street. So we didn't put the building right across from anyone's home. We feel like that would, have less impact if it's lining up with the street there. So we think with the facade of the building lining up with the street, it'll look really nice. We modeled the building after a lot of the houses in that neighborhood have kind of the lower brick around the base and then more of a siding type construction on the upper parts of the building. And then we also have a similar matching brick and cast stone walls around the picnic pavilion right now. So it's going to tie in nicely with both the architecture existing in the park as well as tying into the general kind of appearance of the homes in the general area there in Mayfield Park. This was a pre-constructed restroom that's already been built, and it's just waiting to be brought to the site and set in place. The contractor will have to do the sub-slab for it, tie in electrical and plumbing connections, and then we plan to come back in and do some landscaping around it, but it should fit into the site nicely. And next slide has some other pictures. We're going to do, you can kind of see it matching up where the seat wall is. There's a seat wall that goes in front, and that's the brick and cast stone that'll match on the building. The building includes a nice drinking fountain with a water bottle filler attached to it. We're tying in with some of the nice paving, special paving with the brick pavers that we have throughout the rest of the park will be used at the front entry to the restroom building. And then you can see how it lines up off the existing walkways that are in the park right now. And then we'll do some colorful landscaping there once the building is completed and in place. Next slide, please. Kind of moving on from development projects into some of our recreational activities. We continue to have popularity with the virtual classes. We've increased another 53 attendees this last month, and so we're up over 1,700 people a month now following our virtual classes online. So, and we've got a wide variety of classes, things like yoga is real popular, Zumba, things like that, jazzercise. So that's continued to have a big following there. And then we were able to hold some volleyball camps at IPRC over July, had 2 camps, had a nice turnout, made sure everybody passed their temperature checks coming in and wearing masks while they were participating and keeping them social distanced as much as possible. But it's good to be able to see kids getting out and having an activity, and a sport to play and practice and do some training just to get better. So we're kind of glad to see that we can do that. We've had quite a bit of interest from various schools and organizations wanting to hold some cross-country running meets, and so we've been working with them to try to accommodate some of their requests in the fall. So we'll be bringing some more information on that as it becomes available. Next slide, please. And then this over the summer. Due to all the restrictions, we're trying to stay busy and keep people entertained. So we've had, along with the virtual July 4th, we had the series of Parks and Recreation Month events that ran through the end of July. And we've got a video, kind of just a quick recap video of the things that we covered as part of Parks and Rec Month and the virtual activities. If you can go to the next slide and then start the video. Showing how to make that really tasty with the and then we had a chef on
to somehow tell everyone about the garden. So I decided to create this website and then, post it around, social media, and we were able to see and we're able to like take pictures and then, show everyone like how to volunteer, when you can come volunteer. I was going to ask Kimberly and Tricia to kind of do a quick recap of some of those activities and what all went into putting that on.
So I'll let Tricia talk about the activities, but I just want to say that Tricia and my team made it absolutely look effortless. There was so much coordination that went into picking groups and working with them, and working with our communications team has been tremendous help through all of this. So I just want to send notes of appreciation for all the staff that really helped put this together. And I'll let Tricia go into kind of what all the activities were and what was involved.
Yeah, so I wasn't planning on going to all the activities, but as y'all saw, we had everything from fitness to cooking to art, and it wasn't showed because it was live, but we had we had a game Thursday. It was game day, so we had live bingo on our Facebook page, and then we had a live trivia contest, and so a lot of the prizes that were utilized during our July 4th celebration, we were able to also utilize for this. And so it was just a lot of fun. We offered curbside pickup for the gifts and for the prizes. And we had trivia twice a week for the whole month of July. And yeah, like Kimberly said, there was a lot of collaboration and coordination with the communications department, with our awesome staff, and with our awesome volunteer instructors and volunteers, and it really honestly went pretty smoothly. We had a few kinks to work out, but it was a great experience. We know the ins and outs of a lot of these software and features now on social media, so we're excited for the next virtual event.
And Tricia didn't include this little tidbit, but she appeared on Fox 26 News bright and early on a Monday morning, right, 7:30 on a Monday morning to promote our Parks and Recreation Week. The news channel had found out about the Parks and Rec Month and the promotions that we were doing, and asked if they could interview someone. So Tricia went on and did a great job, represented us very well. So we were really happy with that. We can go to the next slide, I think it's the last slide. So we were interested, well, we've been trying to plan an actual in-person event for the fall, and we've been working on this. We've had it on our calendar for, well, over a year now. Last fall, if you'll recall, we did the Art of Wining and Dining, and we were going to do something similar this year as a fall fest in Town Square. As things have gone on, it's looking less and less like there will be, live activities in the fall where we can gather. We'd found out that the Fort Bend County Fair, had to cancel this year. So with all the concerns still in place, we made the determination that we will proceed with our virtual activities that we've been doing. So Kimberly, Tricia, and event staff will be working towards bringing forward some virtual activities for the Fall Fest, and so they're busy kind of planning and working on that for right now. We haven't made a decision on the tree lighting, which is would be our next event after that in late November or early December. Right now, we'll play it by ear and see how things progress through the fall, and see if we can do an in-person one then. If not, we'll be prepared to do a virtual event then. So still plenty going on behind the scenes, and appreciate everybody being able to come on and attend these Zoom meetings with us. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions about things that are going on in the department.
Okay, proceeding with our normal process. Ho-Jin, you want to share a comment with everybody?
Hi, everyone. I know this has been a hard time for everyone. I know it's been stressful for me, but trying to keep well in the good light. But I do appreciate everyone's efforts on the Parks and Rec. That's a lot of work that y'all go through, especially the virtual events that's setting up. But no question from me specifically. I just want to mention, just state the thank yous for everyone's participation, and just hang tough. Hopefully we'll get back together again soon.
Thanks, Ho-Jin. Joan Hanson. Oh, excuse me, Heather Gillen. Heather Gillen. Sorry.
No comment except great job to the city. I'm bummed that I missed the summer series this time around, but for sure I'm going to make sure I put in my calendar to look at the fall festival, the virtual fall festival coming up. So I'm excited to see that. But great job.
Thanks, Heather. Joan Hanson.
I just want to say thank you to all the city people who do such a wonderful job. I've been a Sugarlandian all my life since I was 1, and we're so fortunate to have such a wonderful group of people that care so much. And Tricia, while I was watching you talk, I thought you should be on TV, and you were. You might be discovered, but don't you go anywhere. But anyway, thank you to all of you, and it's an honor to be on with the PARCS board again. And Barbara, thank you for the job you do. I've been Zooming all day. We Zoomed all day at school today for PD. So thank you all.
Oh, thank you, Joan. Kelly Johnson.
Yeah, I just echo the thank yous, the gratitude for everyone and your hard work. And I also wanted to offer just if there's ever a time in between meetings, if you want to call in any of us, I'll just volunteer myself at least, in terms of the social media engagement, or just send us a quick email to remind us that something's coming up that we might be able to be present for, even if it's just remotely. I saw a few of the videos, the butterfly garden video, and another one of the videos, but I was kind of late in seeing them on social media and wasn't able to engage live. But, just one of those examples. But if there's something else that you can put us to work doing to help out with your efforts in between meetings, I, for one, would be really willing to do that.
Oh, thanks, Kelsey. That's very nice of you. Excuse me, Kelsey Lowe.
The other Kelsey. I echo the other Kelsey in saying I would be very happy to boost things if you give us a heads up. I'll pile my thanks on to everybody else's and admiration and appreciation for all the hard work you're doing. And also just saying the diversity of virtual offerings is really great and inspiring. And I know it takes a lot of work, but man, I appreciate seeing not just the big musical event ticket items, but the little things, the interviews, the classes, all of those things are great. It's just nice to see such a rich set of things that are going on here in Sugar Land, even during these difficult times. So yeah, appreciate all you guys do.
Thanks, Kelsey. Tracy Pipes.
Yes, I agree. Really appreciate all that you do. And we've been using the parks this summer, especially City Park and Imperial Park, playing ball. And we've been very grateful running those trails and walking the dog and just having a great place to go that's clean and safe and well lit. And we really appreciate everything that's on social media. I've been watching all the videos, and keeping everybody busy in the community has been a really important thing for y'all, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tracy. Kelly Reynolds.
I'll also pile on thanks to everybody on staff. It looks like there's a lot of great things going on, and I definitely need to get on board virtually and sort of try to get up to speed on a lot of it. Joe, I have one quick question for you. On the road construction, are there going to be pedestrian and bike lanes on that road, or is there a path alongside the road, somewhere that, pedestrians and bikers can use to sort of get between the parks?
Yeah, it's a separated trail, 8-foot trail, separate from the road. It runs parallel to the road, but it's separated except for where it goes across the bridge.
Great. Okay.
Really not bridge, but culverts.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a designated trail.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And did it what everyone said. You guys were just incredible with your creativity in this time, and I know you've got family to be concerned with too. And so thanks you all for what you're doing for the citizens. It's really appreciated by everybody that I talk with. And I've been enjoying some of the Zoom classes. They've been challenging, but doing my best. Joe, one question on the Brazos River Road extension. How long, you may have said this, how long is that extension?
I may need William's help on this. I know it's at 1.3 miles.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little less.
A little less than that.
Maybe
I'm
about
getting mixed up. 1.3 is what we're doing at Cullinan Park on the trail loops.
Yeah, I think it's right at a mile, isn't it? Right at a mile.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably about right. I was getting mixed up. We have a trail project we're working on at Cullinan Park right now, a trail alignment. I know it's like 1.3. So yeah, it's probably about a mile long.
Yeah, thank you. It's amazing that it is a mile. We don't realize there is a lot of distance between those two areas. A lot of work. And Joe, I don't know if I was premature in asking for board comment. You may well have other comments you want to make on what's been going on.
Oh no, I think that covered it in the director's report.
Oh, okay, very good. And I'm assuming that we're going to continue probably with Zoom, at least for the foreseeable future.
As it stands right now, we're planning on continuing to do Zoom meetings until probably City Secretary's office starts bringing all the boards and commissions back in. My understanding is all the boards and commissions right now, as well as City Council, are primarily in Zoom meetings. There's a few council members separated in the chambers for council meetings with their online meetings, but they're still mostly doing Zoom meetings.
Oh, thank you. And board members, you probably are aware of this, but Joe has other items in his director's report, which are available online at the city website under board's agendas. But you did receive that in an email if you want to learn a little bit more. They've been really busy. And there being no further business before us this evening, do I have a call for adjournment?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Hojin. A second?
I'll second it.
Oh, Joan, thank you for the second. Well, the Parks Board August 11th, 2020 meeting is formally adjourned. Thank you all. Good to see you all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Y'all.
Thanks.
Bye.
And thank you. Bye.